It's a career choice that allows you to scare other people into voting for you, which creates a raging war between the red side and the blue side like it's goddamn TF2. Alright, you got protesters. And these protesters aren't your average people, no. These protesters are... how do I say it? They're rare cases of nut jobs. Alright, have you ever seen those videos where people go to protests and they interview people who go to the protests and ask them questions? And they respond. It's not that they're stupid, it's just that they're Americans. This is mainly American politics, by the way. I know a lot about American politics. I'm an internet user. And these Americans won't shut up about their politics. It's important to run a country. But America seems to be the only country, or one of the only countries, that for some reason seems to do it completely wrong. It's done it up to the point where it's become a goddamn comedy show. Or maybe it's not a comedy show. Maybe I'm just getting it all wrong. Maybe it's just a circus full of clowns. I mean, every single American, mainly president, seems to be identified by one signature thing in their character. Not much about their knowledge on how to run a country, but rather the type of person they are. But I feel like American politics has been talked about way too much. So let's talk about something else. Let's talk about third world politics. See, there are some countries that are filled with so much sin and pollution, and despite the people's pleas to get it fixed up for some reason it doesn't get itself fixed up. Possibly because the country is a never-ending shithole of downwards, like America. But for some reason, it's the fact that all these big boys who have these big boy roles always seem to make these really selfish decisions. Give me money, I'm going to fix our country. How will it fix our country? Well, you vote for me, and I use our country's money to buy me fancy things up the hill, where I can look at you rot from the grave and go into the grave due to all that rotting. Oh, what's this? Somebody's actually trying to solve our country's problem by implementing a new system? Well, we can't let that happen. Let's put him in prison. Execute him. We can't let that happen. Do you know who I am? When it's voting season, you only see these big trucks going around carrying signs. They say, don't vote for Johnson, vote for Jimson. 'Cause Johnson's going to fuck up your country, and Jimson, is not going to fuck up your country. While Johnson, on the other hand, pays trucks to go around saying, don't listen to Jimson. Jimson's a cunt. Listen to me, Johnson. I'm a good leader. Jimson's a douchebag who doesn't know how to be a president, and it will be his responsibility, and it's his fault, which will be why money will be taken out of the children and put into the military. Same thing, it's a game of Team Fortress 2. It feels like nobody's willing to have a civilized argument and try to show why they make a good leader. They just tell why they're a good leader. Politics has always been stupid. My issue with politics is mainly all that stupid scaring of stupid people. You got people from both sides saying the world is ending for the most bullshit reasons. A left-sider uses pronouns and there's some kind of supervillain. A right-sider owns a gun in their house, and there's some kind of domestic terrorist. I have absolutely no clue what the hell politics is. I have not studied it. Matter of fact, I can't even give a good description of what fear-mongering is, but I think you know it well. Oh, and don't get me started about all those bullshit fake graphs. All those cherry picking of information. Oh no, see, global warming, it's real. It isn't real. See the graph, and Mother Earth, it comes out in the carbon gas and it sucks it back in, and all we do is just contribute a little 30 tons of carbon. Well, what's that gonna do? But I'm not here to talk about climate change. That was just an example of cherry picking, taking out tiny details of a graph and making it a big deal. Oh, you see this event? This event has absolutely nothing to do with whatever is going on in the political spectrum, but I'm going to make it about politics. You see this tragic event? This is what happens when we let our enemies take advantage of us. Vote for me so I can use our treasury to buy me good Rolex watches and expensive cars. And I can also go into the parliament in a helicopter as well. That was nice. Political comics have always been there since the 18th century. Always making fun of rich people, powerful people, politicians for making all these stupid politician problems. Which is why I really, really hate politics. It's just a circus. You're letting a circus run the world. But here's the problem. How? How can we run the world if a circus runs the world? And if we try to run the world a different way, it all just becomes a circus again? I have absolutely no clue. I'm just here to talk about how much I hate politics. I'm not here to bring up a global solution. I'm here to talk about my problems. You ever heard about that crying Japanese politician? What's his name again? The only reason why he ever became a politician was to make himself look good in front of his friend who was also a politician, and they went to like the same stupid prestigious school. And because people who go to prestigious schools are somehow like better than everyone else, despite him being shown as completely pathetic just because of the completely stupid decisions he made. I mean, he became a meme, for God's sake. This entire political thing sucked. It completely crashed downhill. It was embarrassing as shit. And to make things even better, to add a cherry on top of the cake, there's only forms of trying to make the world a better place in the name of the political industry is to go on a train, a very long train ride almost every day to a hot springs somewhere up north, which is like really prestigious and really good and really luxurious. And he called these research trips. It almost comes to think that life is TF2. Always the fight with the Reds and the Blues.